Okay, so first step is you need to go and find Google Sites, S-I-T-E-S. So you can see I've now logged into Google Sites. You can see I've got loads of Google Sites, but once you log in, you shouldn't see anything in here to start with. So if we're just going to go and start a new site, you're going to click on the plus to make a blank site. Looks a little bit like this. So you're going to start off by just giving it a title, whoopsie, coding ePortfolio. Then up here you can type coding ePortfolio by, and then put your name. There we go. Right, so this is my home page. The home page is the first page that opens when you go to a website. So this is your home page. So we're going to just put some information at the bottom. Now if you look over here on the right hand side, notice the panels are insert, pages, and themes. Okay, obviously a theme is where you go and choose how your site looks, but for now I'm just going to go to the insert menu. You can see these nice little content blocks, which allow us to kind of decide what our page will look like. We also have these individual elements that you can put on there as well, but I'm just going to get started with this first content block. And when I click on that, you notice it puts on this block here. Now if I don't like that block, I can obviously remove it over here. Okay, so I'm going to put it back on. You can obviously then go and change the color and add style and all that kind of stuff, but for now I'm just going to type welcome. That's my title, and then the text is going to be just a welcome message and a little bit about me. Okay, so welcome to my coding ePortfolio. My name is, and this website is to show all of my work during first, second, and third year coding. Now you can add a bit more information to that if you want, you know, a little bit more about you, whatever. Over here you can put a picture if you want, or just, you know, something relating to coding. Anyway, you can change how that all looks. Right, so that's my first page. So now I want to go and add a new page, right? Because remember, according to the assignment, I want to have a page where I put my coding stuff, a page where I put my theory stuff, and a page for IT skills. So I'm just going to go and I've already done my home page, so I'm just going to go and copy that, Command C. I'm now going to go back to pages, make a new page, and paste that in, Command V. There we go. Now I've got a coding page. I'm going to do the same for my other pages, so I'm just going to Command C to copy that text. Back over here, Command V, and you can see why the shortcuts are really useful, keyboard shortcuts, which we learnt last week. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that in over here, Command V. Done. So now you can see up here, I've got a home page, I've got a coding page, I've got a theory page, and I've got an IT skills page. Okay, these are all my pages. And now for today, you're going to go and put your IT skills work onto your IT skills page, because if you remember, we have done a couple of different IT skills pieces of work. So what you'll do is you'll go to the IT skills page. Again, you go to your insert. I'm going to choose the same layout for pretty much all of my work. Here we go here. And then you're going to go back and you're going to go and see, okay, well, what was your first IT skill that you did? So let me just go and find that. Okay, give me a second. So let's go into my 1H class. And just let's have a look back through the feed at the IT skills work that you did. And if you notice here, the first one was IT skills 1, uploading handwritten work to Google Classroom. So you could go and grab that, Command C to copy, go back to your site, and I'm just going to paste it in here, Command V. Okay, now let me show you one. I'm going to undo that, Command Z. Notice that I've got this nice kind of style here for this heading. If I do Command V, it just pastes in that really boring style from the previous page. So I'm going to, instead of doing Command V, I'm going to do Command Shift V. Notice that keeps the nice kind of style on my page. So there we go, IT Skills 1, uploading handwritten work to Google. And then you can go and add another one. Okay, and then obviously we go back here and we say, okay, well, what was the second thing we did? Well, that was IT Skills 2, About Me presentation. So again, I'm going to go and grab the title, Command C to copy. Remember, Command Shift V to paste in and keep the style. And then I'm going to add another one. And then again, we have to go and find what the other one was about. And the other one was IT Skills 3, which is here. I'm going to grab that, Command C, and Command Shift V to paste it in and keep the style. Okay, right, so now we've got all our IT skills in. Now here's the thing, we want to actually have a little description down here about what you learned during that particular task. So, you know, during this task we learned about, and you can obviously go and fill that in, okay? And I'm going to do that for all of these. So again, I'm just going to highlight the text, Command C to copy, Command V to paste, Command V to paste, and then you can go and fill in those descriptions. Now what we want is we actually want our slide, or our work, kind of attached over here. So for example, working smarter with shortcut keys. Okay, so I'm just going to go into that piece of work just to give you an example. Here it is here, working smarter with shortcut keys. Okay, now you all have a nice piece of work done for this already. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an example. I'm going to go and take bows just for a second. Okay, and basically what we want to do is Bo will hopefully be getting her piece of work and putting that into her IT Skills 3 piece of work here. So I'm kind of imagining that I'm doing this as Bo now. Okay, so first of all, I just want to just open this piece of work up just so I can have a look at it. There we go. And so then what I want to do is I want to get this piece of work and put it back into my coding ePortfolio. So over here I've got this little plus. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to select a document from Google Drive, because as you know, all of your slides are stored in Drive. Okay, so I'm going to click from Drive. Over here on the right, it shows me all of the different things I've got in Drive, but I know I just opened that document a second ago, so I'm going to go to Recent, and up on the top I can see, oh look, there we go, and I'm going to insert that. Okay, now just let's have a look, see what happens. So notice now that it has put in the slideshow in here. Now notice I can't click on the slide, I can't see the work or whatever. That's because at the moment I'm in the edit mode. Edit mode is when or edit view is when you're editing your actual Google site. So at the moment I can't see any of that stuff. But if you look up here along the top, there's a little preview option. If I click on the preview option, watch what happens. It converts it into a web page, and now I can go down and watch. I can click and go through all of the different slides in that slideshow. So if you can imagine, then you're going to do the same thing for your About Me presentation, and you're also going to do the same thing for your uploading handwritten work to Google Classroom. Now notice that I've entered a Google slide in here. The presentation here will be a Google slide, but this work here won't be a Google slide, because remember, you used your camera app on your iPad to take some photos of your work and put that in there. So you know, it's not just a Google document that you can put in here. So for example, on this one you might hit the plus button and you can upload a file. Okay, anyway, we'll get to that a little bit later. So hopefully you can finish your home page with some nice pictures of you or of the subject, maybe a bit more information on the welcome page. The IT skills page, you should be able to pretty much get that done today. The theory page, we'll come back to that during first year. And then the coding page, well, you know that you've already done some coding. Well, let's go back and have a look at what coding you've done. And you can see you've made a game with Scratch, okay? So what you can do as well is you can actually go and put your Scratch game in here. So on my coding page, I'm going to again use this content block. I just like the layout, okay? And I'm going to go and grab the name. There we go, that was the name of it, Command C. You can obviously type these things if you want, but it's easier to just copy and paste them. Command Shift V. And then you're going to talk about, you know, in this project and you can finish that off and talk about it and what you learned. Now over here, you can actually go and put in your Scratch game. So if you go to the plus, oh, actually that's not going to work, so I need to do something different here, because I want to get my Scratch game and I want to like get the link to my Scratch game. So let me just go into Scratch first, and I'm just going to go into my Scratch account, and I'm just going to choose like any of these tasks. You'll be fine. Oh, there we go. I'm going to find my maze game. There's my maze game. Okay, once you have your maze game opened, you can click on this copy link. You can then go to copy embed. That copies that code, so that's the embed code, and an embed code allows you to take your game. So it allows me to take this game and put it somewhere else. So I've copied the embed code, and now I'm going to go back to here. Now I'm going to actually get rid of that little box. I'm going to delete that box, and if I go over here, you can see under insert I've got an embed option. I'm going to click on that, and now if I go to my embed code, and now I'm going to paste in the embed code that I just copied from Scratch. So Command V and hit next and hit insert, and what you'll notice is it will put my game in there. My Scratch maze game will go in there. Okay, now obviously it doesn't really look great down there. I really want it up with my the rest of my content, so I can actually click it and just drag it up there. You can drag all these different areas around. So now you can see that's what it looks like. I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger so I can see my actual game. Tiny bit bigger. Okay, right, that looks okay. So now if I want to test it or see how it looks, I can hit the little preview button again, and that should load my game into this window. I can hit play, and I can then go ahead and play that. Now notice that it kind of cuts it off a little bit there, so I should really close that. I should go back and maybe resize some of these things, and now that might allow me to resize my game. There we go. And now if I test it this time, I should be able to play the whole game inside that particular window. And there I go. Okay, and then obviously to go back to edit mode, I just close that. Right, so hopefully now you've got enough information to be able to go and create your coding ePortfolio. We'll be adding to this during the 3 years of coding class every time we do something new.